evaluation of instructors. You may have seen emails within your inboxes from the university that tell you that student evaluations of instructors are available at this point. You're able to take them, I believe, up until finals week. So you want to get it done by the end of this last week of class. It's important for you to take the SEIs because your opinions matter. They matter to me and the other TAs because it lets us know areas that we're doing well and areas that we might need to improve our teaching, how we structure the course, things like that. It also matters to our departments that make decisions based on SEIs and to the university overall. So it's really important to participate in those, not only for this class, but all of your other classes as well. So I wanted to remind you about that. Now, to just think about wrapping up the course, I want to turn back to those course goals we had at the beginning of the quarter. So we wanted to try to establish a base of foundational knowledge and convey that information to you through this class to help you know where stuff is throughout the world, understand key concepts and vocabulary, and know important structures happening and flows that impact your world. So I hope that through things like the geography quizzes and the Google Map assignments, you have a better idea of where things are. Through some of the vocabulary, readings in the book and lecture, you have an understanding of more concepts that you can use going forward to understand events that are happening, current events that will continue through the rest of your life. So hopefully you have more information that will impact how you understand the world in the future. Also, we hope you can apply that knowledge with critical thinking, spatial thinking, and communication skills, and we're hoping that through looking at you all's commodity chain projects, we'll see great examples of that sort of work. And lastly, to think about the human dimensions of geographic knowledge, so improving an understanding of yourself and others as part of your community. So hopefully these are things that have helped build throughout the quarter. So I hope that you have learned that important vocabulary, some key concepts of physical geographic processes, understandings of development, population, and globalization, and improved overall knowledge of regions of the world. We started off thinking about physical geography through things like climatic systems. We've also looked at world incomes and disparities in world incomes around the world and thought about how that has really changed through time. And it's important to keep that in mind, that all of these things are in a constant process of becoming and will continue to change as we move forward. We talked some about the idea of globalization, and I think your commodity chain projects are really going to illustrate how so many of the products that we use are built through a globalized production chain. Here's an example that illustrates one of the perceived problems of globalization. You see a family traveling, saying things, we got these cool hats at Nike Town in Paris, this great shirt at the Disney store in London, and a great dinner at McDonald's in Rome. So this idea of the Americanization and corporatization of all these places that seem to look the same. But as we've seen from looking at some of these areas around the world, though there is globalization taking place, it doesn't touch down the same in all places. There's a lot of difference that still exists out there and a lot of local flavor that changes how these things touch down. Another aspect is thinking about how things like neoliberalism encourage free trade between all these different countries, and have these world trade organizations that help break down the barriers to trade, and supranational organizations and agreements like NAFTA that allow goods to flow more freely between countries. And you see negative effects in places like the US, where you have layoffs, and places abroad where these jobs might go, but the wages are very poor and workers have very few rights. So it's important to think about not really an us versus them mentality, but how we're all tied together through this system, and may be able to work towards some sort of positive change within how the world economy is structured